Merry Christmas! Greetings, you amplified human beings. Tonight I'm going to start you off with a triple dose by the same band from the same album that I believe, even in a Christmassy spirit, represents the three people in my current household family. The little one, let's do this properly. Kiddo, Mamo, Babo. Three songs, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy, and once again, Merry Christmas to everybody. Yeah, I keep certain traditions.
Who is this child that I've never seen before? Who is this child that I've not seen till this day? Who dares to fall asleep outside my door? If we should wait a while, I'm sure she'll go away. To be involved with this would surely not be wise, for in the final word she means nothing to me. I learned the trick is that we just avoid her eyes. And the question what she means to. What is this life? There will be other lives soon to arrive. Surely some will survive. She is but one, and there are many more. He's the same as any other. Who is this child? What does she mean to me? I close my eyes, and still her face I see. She is but one, her kind is everywhere. And you see, there's no way I should care. I need a moment now, I have to clear my mind. Is there a limit, Lord, just to being kind? There is no way in life that each child can be saved. Should I be looking with regret at every grave? There are no guarantees in life, she should be warned. I'm not responsible for this child being born. I'm not responsible in any kind of way for every child that life can gather. What is this life? There will be other lives soon to arrive. Surely some will survive. She is but one, and there are many more. Could this one life really matter? Who is this child? What does she mean to me? I close my eyes, and still her face I see. She is but one, her kind is everywhere. And you see, there's no way I should care. Can you see it in the night? Can you feel that it's out there? It's the arcing of a life, and it's hanging in the air. Though I try to close my eyes and pretend that I don't know, in my heart, I just can't let it go. There has to be another way for me, a way that leads from this insanity, a way that leads from my destruction. As I say, can you see it in the night? Can you feel that it's out there? It's the arcing of a life, and it's hanging in the air. So I try to close my eyes and pretend that I don't know. In my heart, I just can't let it.
There is a child and she sleeps in the gutter. Don't close your eyes and she's easy to see. She is not your child, she's always another's. And those you abandon, they are left to me. And no, I will inhale her like a knife. Leave her twisting day after day after day of a very short life Listen now closely and hear how I planned it. Please let me tell you just how it will be. She'll feel the pain, but she won't understand it. She'll think it's her fate, but we'll know it's me. And no, I will inhale her like a knife. Leave her twisting day after day after day of a very short life with me. So let me know, have I been clear? That I will magnify each cut and every bruise and every single childhood tear. I'll pick her scabs, cripple a hand, push a finger in each night. Now tell me then, do you understand? 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 And no, I will inhale her like a knife. Leave her twisting day after day after day of a very short life with me. With me.
And here in the night, as I feel the inferno, I stare in the dark, thinking what is eternal? The man or the moment, the act or the reason? These thoughts fill my head as I contemplate treason of dreams I have had and dreams I have pondered when late in the night my mind it would wander to things I have done and then quickly regretted while denying vices my life had selected. And I think what I've done or have yet to begin, and the man I've become and the man that I've been, now caught in a waltz, the eternal dancer. I'm haunted by death, but death isn't the answer. I say, all I was meant to be. Could I suddenly just decide not a thought would survive? Could it be my life's work ended there with my birth? If I could see someone who's been there before me and traded his soul for a moment of glory, his penance or mercy, my spirit's debated while judged on a scale that's been heavily weighted. And what have I done? Could there be such a sin in this man I've become, in this man that I've been? Now call to God from his very bottom. I pray he forgives every sin I've forgotten this day. And who would have thought that my fate it would counter this twist in the road on which I have wandered, each vision and dream now completely dismembered, to give one's whole life and find nothing's remembered. And what good's a life that leaves nothing behind, not a thought or a dream that might echo in time? The years and the hours, the seconds and minutes, and everything that my life has placed in it betrayed, betrayed, betrayed. The things I have done, the places I've been, the cost of my dreams, the weight of my sins, and everything that I've gathered in life. Could it be lost? Could it be lost in this? Could it be lost in this? Could it be lost in this?
Connected to Chris.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Laughing Lamps Salty Coat Conversation Session number 21. We are old enough to drink. Yippee! I'm your host, Jin of the Lamp, and I have probably an extended session once again this week. Merry Christmas to everybody. Again, I was born and raised into Christianity, so to a degree, I still celebrate that. Especially for the sake of certain others. It's a sacrifice I do make as well. I compromise. Definitions of words, I guess we'll have to look into on our own, because I know we have self-defined these words for our own personal selfish use when necessary. Bing! What a watt. Amplify that. I have quite a few sayings. So those acronyms that I see posting here are very similar, by the way, to the acronyms that I see as a groups potentially related to yours. And I guess because I didn't label mine specifically by subject, you see the specifics, and I just generalized the name to do its thing. Well, the name doing its thing, due to the lamp being in it apparently, is bringing on these electric company confused light bulb companies, literally light companies. Ding, ding. But you have the wrong idea, buddy. And buddies. But feel free to stay and enjoy whatever part of the show. So let me start off with the today's post, because it's Christmassy in the sanctity of today's worth. Happy Xmas, amps. Yeah, we've, I guess, played with the definition so much that it's turned into Xmas for shortening purposes. Yeah, it's been X'd out. I understand. I get you. I got your lingo. I think. Okay. With expectation and hope, I pray you care on behalf of your wish on this merry Christmas day. Happy birthday to those in belief that He is in us all. Listen, I get it. Oh, I'm attacking. Yeah, this is the Laughing Lamps, a salty coded session, so I'm going to pour salt on the wound every chance that I get. Don't confuse the definition of salt and the salt's purpose in my story. Now y'all snorting shit. Oh, I was trying not to swear or curse. Well, isn't that like casting spells? Only then and only then are those words and definitions allowed to be used, because I'll be damned if you actually have a wand to use. Ha! 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 Either way, for those in the united Christian circle of faith, we are all taught in one way or another that He is within us all. So technically, it is also our soul's birthday. If He's in us all, my brothers and sisters. I think we forgot the small definition of that meaning. Only if and if it's my actual bloodline, or a very good friend, or a united soldier within. Some degree of your specificity when it comes to your generalizations. A pyramid scheme y'all just don't see. We'll get into that stuff a little bit more later as other explanations arise. We'll get there. We will. I hope and I pray for the best and the worst. With expectation on your wish. Yes, we wish you a if I'm wishing everybody a merry I'm not going to wish on that kind of stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know the thought process of that person's definition of a Merry Christmas to them. Maybe they want to successfully do something extremely worldwide negative. And if you wish me a Merry Christmas, and the supposed me and what I'm potentially doing, then maybe your wish will be granted. The snake shall be released. And we'll get into that snake talk a little bit later as I discuss the tattoo that is covered up due to a 1973 Grateful Dead concert souvenir bought and paid for by her father, late father, excuse me, with all due respect. All you LSD children feel a connection now? I know that's a feeling of the sixth sense tingling inside you. Oh my God, wait a minute. Oh, was I a concert child? Did I give birth to a concert child? Did I get impregnated at a concert? Oh no, was my parents impregnated at a concert? I don't know. I don't care. Tickle, tickle. Tickle, tickle. Okay. So again, happy birthday to those in belief that He is supposedly within us all, and happy birthday to He himself if you want to. But that's the real snake. We'll get into that too later, I guess. Yes, we will. Okay. And then, of course, obviously, for those in the trend fashion game of things, happy 25th of December. See you if remembered. Now, you dyslexic definition type of fake ass folk are going to say, see if you remembered. No, it's a see you if remembered. Everybody's eyes plays that trick. Does that mean everybody has dyslexia? Okay, to each their own. The wordplay is so close together that my eyes can't help but to see the puzzle definition and configuration of the puzzle of a pyramid. Yu-Gi-Oh! No, it's just full of stuff. I know, my head's full of stuff. I got you guys. All right, that was the Xmas post. Like I said, I guess this is going to be quite a long session. I got about 20 minutes so far with music and a weirdo introduction spiel, plus a confusion light bulb type spiels. Ding, ding, ding. I got the wrong idea, I think. Well, before I get into that, let me explain how my Christmas day went. I staged a robbery. Yeah. Wait, what did you say? I staged a robbery. Okay, let's explain. So I still have work. The whole family's out, separate vehicles. Thankfully for me, mother and child ride together. Needless to say, I beat them home. And I thought to myself, perfect, I've been hiding these gifts and talking about Santa for quite some time, building up the character. Yeah, I have a heart. Well, hold on. Let's explain the story. I don't have jack shit, according to all of you. Came home, took the gifts from where they were hiding. I can't say because she'll watch this eventually. I don't want her to know the birdie exists yet. A little birdie told me. Y'all heard that one a lot too, right? Yeah, I did too. I figured out who the birdie was when the birdie was calling the eagle about my brother. But needless to say, that was in the day too when beepers were pretty popular. Needless to say. So I beat them home, took the gifts from where they're hiding, and I hid them under her tree, little kiddo's tree. And I waited for them outside. Technically, it didn't go as I planned. You see, the scheme in my head was to completely beat them home in time to wait for them to arrive at home and then play off the act. You see, I sacrificed earlier that morning, if you will, because this happened around 3 in the morning. I got a phone call from the mother, my partner. And I call her that, not my girlfriend, because she'll tell you she ain't no regular girl. And she's right. She's my partner. Snaky tongue. Oh, how do you write her down on paper? Okay. So what happened was around 3 o'clock, she gave me a call. She says, what do you think we go to IHOP breakfast as a family unit and, enjoy the breakfast out? And I said to myself, not to her, I said to myself, how can I pull this off if we meet up somewhere and then drive back together? So I took the slap in the face. I turned, no, we'll turn the other cheek. We'll talk about that discussion later. I took the mean lady. Yeah, she hung up right away when I denied it in the way that I denied it. And I told her the way I told her, which set her off and pissed her off because it was a plan that she really wanted to do with very good intentions. Obviously, yeah, let's do a family unit thing. I had my own family unit idea. My own family unit idea. You see, I told a boss at work, actually, they presented us with a gift for the kiddo and I had told this boss, and I've known him for a while. I told him, hang on to this gift until I'm ready, because I'm still trying to create the illusion of Santa Claus. And then I grabbed the gifts when necessary. He understood. He held on to them, and so on. He respected it to a degree. I'll talk about the kid and the family a little later, but this is what I told him, and he understands the story of these two already. I broke a man down to tears just by saying that. The other guy that is one of his partners, the other boss that's in the office, I told him on Christmas Day when we worked, I said, as a gift I'd like to give, and please accept it if you will. I'd like from a son to a father, present to you a hug, at least for the sacrifices that we both do, plus my dad's distance currently. So a hug, a touch from a father is just as close. You guys won't be able to see that difference, and I understand. That's because of how you define what a dad is and what a father is. A father figure is a father. Okay, to each their own. I'm not defining anything. You define it yourselves. So I did that to him, and I broke another man down to tears. Apparently, I'm good at that. Speaking of, I've only seen my dad cry twice, but I didn't do it to him. He's a tougher man than I expected if he's married to the woman who's the witch in my life, a word-playing type of person who's created a word-playing type of child. Okay. So needless to say, the mother's now upset at me. I do beat them home, but only by minutes. I haven't had time to set the presents up yet. So she pulls up. I did grab the mail, but I attempted to knock on her vehicle window and ask her to go grab the mail. She was so mad at me, she didn't even bother. She turns off the vehicle, my car's still running to keep the ambiance noise, because kiddo is napped out at this point. She gets out the car and I said, stop. I'm still trying to do this. Now I need you to play along with it, because she came home earlier. So now I had to adapt the situation. And obviously I can incorporate the mother easily for the child's sake. Ding. Right. I'm trying to do this. Keep it loud. Keep her busy. She's sleeping. Okay, I know. Keep her busy and away. Let me load the gifts up. We'll come outside and tell her that, because I was going to do it to everybody anyway, but now I have to incorporate the mother. The house got robbed. Have everybody check their rooms and she will find... Needless to say, the mother goes along board and we wake the kiddo up. She's cranky. And we say, hey, let's get ready to go inside the house. Just be careful because the door wasn't closed all the way. I think somebody's been in the house. We walk in together. I lead the group. That protective, it's illusionary, but it works. It really works. And people really find that like, oh, I'm safe behind the man. Human cliche. Behind somebody else. Y'all keep following. Keep following. Don't lead nobody. Yeah. I'll talk about another story about that if I remember to. About me stepping in front of a dangerous situation. As a child, a knife was involved. Ding! Surprise! You have to talk about it now. Maybe when I get to it. So we walk in together, and I'm in front. We get up to this area here. The entrance is right behind me. And I say, oh, okay. I tell you what, Mamo, why don't you check downstairs? Kiddo, you check in your room, and I'll check in here. See if anything is missing. Kiddo turns on the light, and I'm staring. I'm just watching the show. And she goes, I can't see her face, so I'm pretending. But I know she scratched her head. She turns around. She goes, Jan? Yes, kiddo. I don't think anything was taken. What do you mean? I have presents in my room. I said, no way. There's no way. So we all walk, Mom, yeah, come on. Kiddo says she's got gifts in the room. Let's go in the room. We go in the room, and so lo and behold, the gifts are there. And I said, no way. Wow, kiddo, I guess Jin was wrong. Santa believes you deserved gifts. You were good enough for a gift. She had multiple, obviously. Now, that took a lot of pre-planning. But my point is the look on her face. It's the most priceless thing you'll ever see in your life. Not just from a child. But you could receive that from your current partners, your best of friends, your siblings. You can do that. You can do that. You don't need to have that specifically. However, those, I believe, robbed of innocence, attempt to see it again. Okay, but then you sacrifice theirs. Okay, for your sake, you selfish fuck. Okay. So the look and the surprise and the act and everything, and then the mother turns around and she says, I feel so stupid. And I said, that's okay. And so the whole argument point, that mean thing vanished and disappeared. I don't mean to create a I owe you, I'm so sorry type of feeling, but it ended up leading to that because I could not play it off the way I wanted to. But nothing happens the way we planned. All right, so if nothing happens the way we planned, how do you adapt? Well, I guess I'm quick on my feet, or quick on my thoughts, or quick on my feelings, or I don't know, quick on something to figure out an alternative situation. Or perhaps that's an example of how many different roads and webs I spin. I think about a potential if and if and if. Okay, she hit this road. She got angry. She hung up the phone type of angry. Oh, so there's a kind of angry. Yeah. To each their own, too. So you have a different reaction to how you would have dealt with that. Your partner would know you, not think how. Okay. The only think how is how I'm going to do now that I know where you are at. Right. I guess that's just the third eye's way of thinking. So the computer matrix is right here. 01101100000110110. I don't know. To each their own, I guess. That's the electricity, the watts going off while it's being amplified. Bunch of ideas firing off. Huh? Leading too much of that chaotic shit goes into a seizure type of activity. Flashing lights. Epileptic. I live with this stuff. I've also been in the medical field and seen enough of this stuff. But needless to say, I'm just full of stuff. Well, there's a fine line of stuff that I call the blade's edge of stuff, of fantasy and reality. And I think those who self-harmed can relate. That fine line that they create on themselves with a blade. Some of you use a needle. Whether it's a tattoo or heroin. To each their own. To each their own. Again, a definition of thing. Listen, again, with the same kind of post. I'm not a technological ding, ding, ding light bulb of a lamp idea. But that's okay. I'm amplified one way or another. So I guess you're misconfused by the definition of literal verbal wording, but that's okay. You guys run a business and work for businesses. You guys take things your own understanding. I get you now. The next post, okay, I'm kind of done with that opening spiel, but you see, I understand. I did what I thought I was doing, was creating and maintaining the illusion of the Santa Claus. Oh, by the way, let's continue that actually. You see, I had told her that Santa Claus gives good kids gifts. He gives bad kids coal, and he gives the worst kids nothing at all. I told her that so far, kiddo, every time, you're right here. You don't deserve nothing at all. Hence, Jin was wrong, and Santa thought that you were so good this year. I guess that means you're good enough at least trying to perform better. So you okay how you play with words and turn a shitty thing into a positive thing? Oh, it's an infinite loop of bullshit chaos. Or maybe that's the circle of life with another circle. Oh, that looks like an 8 now. Let's turn it sideways and shove it up your... Oh, Merry Christmas. And it worked out. So there you go. The illusion of Santa Claus is kept and maintained, and the look and reaction of a feeling so fake but so real at the same time, the fine line of reality and fantasy, and it worked out in my favor. I didn't wish upon it because that's very dangerous. I'm not very good at technically playing with words in order to make sure I get the wish granted that I need and I want for you what you may not need, and who knows, I may amplify the piece of inside you. Merry Christmas. There's a fine line that I call the blade's edge of fantasy and reality. You like to dance? Well, let's dance on a blade's edge. That's how I define her life and everything that she's explained about her unfortunate circumstances in life, on top of how she has reacted to them herself. When to this day, she still reacts to the similar manner. I always tell her, I swear to God, it's like you're ice skating on the blade and you're not worried about the tough feet slipping and slicing your toes and everything like that. You've built up a skin toughness. But I swear you're eventually going to fall, and I feel like you have, and you split yourself in half, and you don't know where you belong. She's a little messed up in the head to a degree, and yet I claim, yeah, I do love this woman, and I love the potential that's still inside her. And Amp, she is another mind's potential solution to a lot of hers in mine. She helps confirm a whole lot of things on top of the feelings that I've learned to grow for her, especially with kiddo. Listen, no, I could, trust me, drop all this. I guess I am heartless. That one harder than that one, obviously, but I can do it. Would I? Oh, that's a different word. That's a different word. I can, but would I? May I? That's different. Well, that's 3 people now with the same type of tech post. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, blah, 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 blah. Bells are ringing, but they're not calling the correct company. And she's dancing on this fine line, this blade's edge. You understand? And I swear she has already slit herself in half. She didn't fall on one side or the other and she's leaning towards left or right, Republican, Democrat. No. She split herself in half and she don't realize how she goes. And I say she's not just a broken person, but she came to me in pieces, literally. I want to get to this description about magic stuff, I guess, to a degree, and chakra crystals and stuff like that. And she comes with a split personality, literally, to a degree. Again, a person with past prescriptions in the first place that led to the downfall of who she is today. On top of her own decisions, everybody's free will. I know. That's what you use against her. She had the choice. She had the choice. Did she? Did she? A description for later use to a future post, or 2 or 3 or 4. We'll use that quite often. You remember the pyramid scheme. You remember sit on it in spin. Oh, I made it rhyme, you idiot. This trap music. You got me trapped. Yep. Trapped in what? Meth and codeine. An infinite loop of ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. Okay, that's what you choose. A choice. Or is it? It's the doom, doom, doom. It's the only thing I can feel. To each their own. Well, anyway, think about that. Reality and fantasy. What we think, what we know, what we believe. Well, what if belief is also one of the knowns? What if belief is also one of these? It's a fantasy. Who knows? It's to each their own. But she dances on this explanation of metaphors is such a fantasy, but when she realizes the situation, it never works out. I get it now. To a degree. Well, maybe you need a higher associates. More soldier talk for the mafiosos. We'll get to that later. What? Me and my fellow associates. Key talk. Key talk. If you're watching from up north, a specific person of a specific group, I know you had a hand in it with the guy related to your group, because that's an inner web of communication, of silence, and yet publicly placed. See, you wear it on your lapel. He wears it on his license plate. So I know you guys have the same group. That's a kind of group in theory and talked about amongst us through gossip as a secret organization, yet publicly put out there. You know who you are. Some of your children are named after these guys. A job is named after them. Or should I say, a job title? Right. Okay. Fantasy and reality. What about Freemasonry? Okay, let's move on to those lovely photos. Next post, ladies and gentlemen. For those who have it open or those who can follow, it's not that many photos this time. And I don't think I'll get into an in-depth description on all of them to a degree, because I'm just trying to relate the snake that I especially wear on my left side shoulder. So specific. Yeah, because there's a general idea to it with a specific... You don't get it yet. I know. Your third eye is still sleeping. I don't know. I'm just going to use that as a description because that's what people seem to have written it down in Google terms and YouTube videos. Okay. So I'll use the general description of what I think that means to me in usage for putting out there for you guys. Matrix, third eye, all that stuff. I don't know. Just funny stuff. So which snake did you want or need again? Because I had forgot to mention it in the last video when I said, don't worry, I'll talk about it, you guys. Yeah, well, oopsie daisy. Oopsie daisy. So the snake is on the left side of my body to represent God's left and right hands. The snake, temptation, sin, supposedly. That's a death and decay. It's wrapped around a skull for a reason. What did I tell the artist? Something specific? To a degree, yes. I generalized the idea that I wanted a snake tattoo, but what I want is a skull in the center of my shoulder. The snake going in and out of every hole. The mouth, the nose, the eyes, if possible. Not the nose, but he went through the eyes, gladly. And he wrapped himself around the skull with apparently a missing bottom jaw. I let the artist do their work. I gave them the image of a skull and with a snake and what it's doing. He drew the kind of skull, the kind of snake, may not relate to an actual creature or being, but whatever. The general idea is there. It's supposed to symbolize to a degree how the snake has wrapped itself around your brain and you're all decaying like a zombie. Me hungry, eat everything want, but need who cares? Me hungry everything. Hence, I guess the joke of they eat brains or they eat you and they peel off, and only certain theories of the electrons that awaken and fire, and this kind of hypothesis that they have when they release these kinds of things on televised media and so on and so forth, right? Okay, well, let's take that general concept. And what is a zombie? Someone who hungry. Frozen food. Oh, well, why? Frozen Philly cheesesteak food. Why not self-made? No. Easy frozen. I know, lots of wants, but what you need is to fulfill that hunger. I know, we don't have time in our day. I'm too lazy. You're too lazy, huh? Okay. You rob yourselves because of your laziness. And laziness, is that not a sin? Oh, but the world allows that. Your needs and wants. You're confused. That's okay. I understand. I related a want with a need and a need with a want, and I turned a want into a need because of desperate actions that have eliminated a bunch of wants for me. So I only have certain choices. So now only when I'm hungry, only do I need a frozen meal because I'm always feeling like I'm on the run, even when I have the time in my day. Human cliches. Robotic zombies, easily programmed. Follow the herd. Don't worry about the trampling. Survive it and see. The next picture is a picture of my squadron. And the squadron, I guess, conveniently, I can't plan this shit, is Strikefitron. That's what those symbolize. But it's a snake with a magical hat and a wand, by the way. So the magical snake. And the saying was, when diplomacy fails, 86 them. 86. 1986 or August 6th. Because 1986 wasn't no year of the snake, so I could not relate that. However, August 6th, 8/6 of a birthday, ends up at Strikefitron 8/6. Strikefitron being a comedic, for me, usage of it because of the way it's worded in the picture. It's like a transformer robot, right? Roboticons or whatever the hell, Decepticons. Autobots. Strikefitron. Strike Fighter Squadron 8/6. Strikefitron 86. Doesn't matter. August 6th. VFA 86. Virtual Fighter Attack. I think that's what it means. Something like that. VFA 86 was my squadron. Strikefitron 86 is because it's a Strike Fighter Squadron, number 86. It's a snake picture on August 6th. I guess it's just coincidence because of how my brain wants to use it. It just happens to be. Yeah. And the squadron that I ended up with as well. Cool. Next picture is me on 400, plane 400, or any other designated plane of nuts value. You see, all squadron understood the word definition of nuts as a 0000 of a number. Well, I use 0000, could be 1,000 even, but nuts is because it's two balls, 200. What plane we working on? Nuts. Hey, nuts is coming in the hangar. Nuts, 400, 300, 200, 100. Also, these 100, 200, 300, and 400s are all painted more than the other planes. Hence, the color scheme on the plane you see there, on the F-18 you see there. And that artwork was actually, according to the guy who did it, it was a guy from our squadron, and congrats to you, AM1, got approval to do this design for that specific deployment. Obviously, the picture doesn't match with the snake prior. That is the actual snake that's supposed to be on the planes, but he got the approval for the design to use on deployment purposes. We stood out. The snake stood out. Okay. Next picture is me and Kiddo, about 2.5 years ago, give or take, when we first met. Hair was short because she got caught using scissors is the story. I wasn't involved yet. Long story involved with these two. Because she started cutting her own hair, so they decided to just shave her head as a punishment. No hair. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. No. Okay. And that's the two of us. She chose that because she likes dragons. Another serpent with legs and wings, maybe only one or the other. Who knows? Yeah, but she likes dragons. She loves dragons. She loves dinosaurs. She loves reptiles. That's pretty cool. Cool of her. I like them too, to a degree. Just don't like living with them downstairs. Anyway. So there's a dragon, a version of a snake. And then there's me, the snake of all snakes, I guess, with the little baby dragon who I claim is still in her egg. And I tell her until she gains enough knowledge, until she really learns, that egg is never going to even hatch. Her mother calls her the running eagle, the eagle that never learned to fly, forgot to spread its wings, and never gave a shh. Yeah, we have some of those too. Running eagle. The next picture is the snake walking, and the purpose of this really was to symbolize the bad habit fact that I can inhale a cigarette smoke and breathe it out my nostrils. Yeah, I didn't do enough coke to fuck them up. I don't put shit up my nose that don't belong anymore. Been a while, actually. And even when I started doing that kind of crap, I only did it for a limited time. Okay. But the first time they say could ruin everything. Yeah, I know. I tested those limits. It does affect you long distance regardless. Good thing I wasn't hot-shotted. Who knows? A possibility as well. You take that risk. I'm done. Thank you. I've been all right. And the belt buckle I'm using. And then that's a lot. The next picture is the big picture that I told you that I may or may not have had fun with myself. That thing was in front of me. That Jesus, that snake oil salesman to me, just to me. Snake oil, the real snake, the real tongue you were supposed to be careful with. Because he had 12 guys change the version of his life story in order to spread a web of lies. That's how I see the description. But y'all see the holy matrimony. We'll get to that a little bit later as well. So those are those pictures. So that's the snake, and that's the story of the tattoo for the most part. Symbolizes the left hand of God. That's why it's on the left-hand side. Sin, temptation, and humans decaying over time through the usage of the snake, the true snake, your tongue, the way you verbalize things to mind fuck everyone, and yet you claim that I'm the one. Well, then if I'm the one, I'm the anti-one. And again, I claim, why would it not take the anti-one to straighten out what he sees as the twisted one? To each their own. An explanation I'll have saved actually for next week's posts. Those are already pre-planned. Ha! Ha! Next post. So supposedly, performing a miracle is a requirement for candidacy, of Pope. Before I continue, I think the miracle of Santa Claus is a miracle in my book. So technically, by wordplay and definition, I have created some form of a miracle, and it entitles me for a voteship to be your next pope. But hey, we have to define things as approved, not as we see it, as approved. Keep falling for it. That's what you're all about. Okay. The real miracle is if you can understand where this goes. How did and do the militaries filter out the Orient what? Hold on. This can go many ways. Are you talking about Orientals or are you talking about orientation? Both. Okay, we'll get there in a second. It follows up with they get it notarized. Stay tuned. They get it notarized to a degree. They get the appropriate documentation necessary to cover the actions and words they're about to do and say. I'm allowed to open my business. I'm allowed to say these things. I got it notarized. It's all fine. Yeah, okay. Ready for the joke? How did or do the militaries filter out the Orient? Those of you who have been in the service and are still in the service, remember and recall this lovely saying, because that's the only way you are going to figure this out. Get in formation, nut to butt. Nut to butt. Nut to butt. Nut to butt. So, the Asians have poor peripheral vision and realize common sense means they're obviously not making fun of us, so line up front to back. Because we can't see each other side to side. So they figured it out pretty easily. Then you guys they already figured out nut to butt definition. And what happened is one person had a little bit of space more than the other guy. So they realized this one's a you know what, get him out of here. Nut to butt. Your orientation was figured out because of what? Let's continue with that. The lesbians couldn't figure out could not translate it. You understand? Oh, it's funny. And it's funny to me only. I know. I got it. It's my joke. Yeah. Don't ask, don't tell. So the Asians is a joke as well with the peripheral vision. They have poor peripheral vision. So obviously they realize that they're not trying to filter them out, and side by side is the incorrect formation. Even though we were taught get in formation is side by side lineup and boot camp. However, nut to butt means turn around in the appropriate direction taught when asked to go nut to butt. Obviously, the gays had a bit of a distance. The lesbians couldn't translate the wordplay. Let's move on, because now this is going to start to get to the more important posts. The last two, I would imagine. So let's read these poems and riddles together. I will read them, and I will explain them to a degree. All right? I feel sorrow for this confession. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. My apologies to those broken. More than one was taken. A hint tomorrow will be hidden. Poor old Abraham. Blind man, blind man. Jin the Joker, quintessentially Robin, cats with riddles. Two faces, frozen with bane and poison, allows crows to flock with penguins. Where is the bat? On their mobile. In their mobile. Who knows? Nowadays, you guys are changing everything. He's busy right now either way, motherfucker. Where is the Harley? Well, I thought she was quintessentially. She's turning cheeky. Good side, bad side. Joker, no. Love you, don't. Save the world, fuck the world. She's turning the other cheek. What do you get when you make a he, she, it? A penny's worth of bullocks. Alfred Pennyworth, Officer Bullocks. A he, she, it, you get a shit. You get a shit. A shit. A shit. A confused little shit. Does it make sense? Not even $1. How odd. PEMDAS. Dumbass stupids. Diggy diggy dah, diggy diggy dah, diggy dah. So, what is to be revealed from all this baloney? Well, obviously, I am admitting to a confession. I do believe that I have personally sinned. Whether I regret that thing or have forgiven myself is a different subject to talk about. I can tell you that, yeah, I've moved on from it to a degree. I still feel very horrible to a degree. I guess that's a regret for the decisions that I made in the past, but we'll lead that up to things in the next post, which reveals certain things. I do have a confession, 2 of them to a degree, but they all relate to the same thing. Some of you may already know where this is going. And if it's going to hurt you, it's going to hurt you. It hurt you back then too. But now you get an explanation out of me. And then I just put in the DC original, for the most part, cast together in some riddly, ding ding type of wordplay. And when crows flock with penguins, you realize, you understand the idea. Y'all, sheep, a herd, flocking in this blind alpha. Who's the leader of all these villains? The mafia has been in charge of every penguins, the most innocent, beautiful, cute little suit wearing duckies. Penguins, false lights, walking around dressed like you and me, left to right, walking around the streets, especially in crowded areas. You're never going to notice these people. They're just like you and me until you awaken and start paying attention to your true surroundings. And I don't mean the cars and the traffic and when and if I can cross the street, but who the fuck is looking at me? Right, like I said, I noticed these things because I look back at you and I realized you were looking at me. And I realized after extended eye contact, you looked elsewhere, but you quickly turned back on me. My peripherals work pretty good. My senses, I've learned to use them for survival purposes. Join boot camp. You can't trust anybody yet. You got to trust yourself. Your instincts will rise, and you got to find a way to control those things. So that's where that begins. Not to mention, yeah, I really awaken that stuff when you start paying attention, 5 years old. But then defense mode kicks in when you have a little brother responsibility who gets involved with your friend's personal dispute, where it leads to another underage 13-year-old putting out a knife to my friends, where I immediately, in reaction, because Richie's, my little brother's there, Step in front of everything and tell the kid, go ahead. You got something to do? Put it through me before you even think about using it on them. The kid just shoved it in my face, put the chink blade away, and said, leave us the fuck alone. See, my fucking fat friend was a troublemaker as a child, a bully who was pissed off at being bullied. Dish it all day, but you can't take it. Pussy. And I know he's come from a troubled past too, so that's his way of releasing his anger. For Christ's sake, he punched the teeth out of the kid that we played baseball with for 2 fucking years in a row. Because he lived, not because, but he also, that friend lived 2 or 3 houses down from where he lived at the time. And yet they forgive each other for the silliness. That's the Catholic school thing, I guess. Yeah, brotherhood is an interesting brotherhood where you can deck out your best friend in anger of your prescription rage and still get away with it as an excuse of sorry, but you know that my medication does this to me. I know. Poor Abraham, been blind his whole teenage life of the people's energetic energy that they claim to have. And yet all the sleep that I got, I was still falling asleep in school. I was never used a damn thing, so okay, whatever. It's an underworld world that's right there in front of you, even in the public school. Those of you who went to my high school specifically understand what the big names were that went there. And they did get in trouble and were not allowed to walk high school graduation due to the use of street stuff. And yet one of these people with a very special last name is now a fancy belt title. Now you know who it is. Yeah. Another celebrity. The city of a town of champions. Wayne Corbett, Miles Austin, Luis Castillo are our current football. That's all they give a shit about too. Not fucking baseball, nothing else, because we suck at everything else. No good football team, by the way, in high school, but 3 successful football players that made it in the future. City of champions. Okay. Let's relate all this stuff with the lovely message. This was on Christmas Eve, obviously, so let me say it in accordance with, to keep the rhyme intact. All right? I bring a gift on this Christmas Eve. Are you climbing up or being flushed out? You tell me. I am the books you've read, yet cannot read. I am the snake that found a rat, and due to that, we cannot breed. It may be a sweet lily, that which I need is what you read. Foreseen was dread, you seem to have read. If you read what I read, or read what I read, or read what I read, or read what I read, you should have seen what I see. That which is beauty, but supposedly only to me, in loving memories. Behold! What we see is not unity, but a scheme, unseen, impossibility, a holy, unholy, Trinity, infinity. They huff and puff on your raven and claw down your doors to slither into your griffin. O Lord Voldemort! I pass on your team of me and try a different unity. It requires you and I, thank you, with or without me. This miscarriage of knowledge, what an abortion, through the innocence of a sin so finely thin, sit on it and spin. You make it impossible, I am possible. My confession is there. One of them specifically directly relates to my action and involvement. The second one, technically, I can relate to my actions involved in it, but not perhaps directly. Hold on. But maybe there is a degree, a 3rd degree, 4th degree, 2nd degree, maybe 1st degree of it. Hence why it's a guilty thought, and no religion of wordplay can take that away. The very first one, with all due respect, was an abortion. I was afraid, first of all, to have the child at the age I was in the military. But I was told that they were pregnant. And my immediate reaction was not even to tell my squadron, but on a guaranteed time off weekend, take the, at the time, 13-hour drive up north to pay monetarily for an action, whether or not she wanted to do it. She did it for my selfish reasons. The sacrifice. She takes the blame for it. But I'm the one who, the snake, the tongue. You see how I can relate to your decisions that you've made? Oh, okay. Go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. Just to pay for it. Guarantee it's done? Maybe, I think if I remember, a kiss, and drive immediately back so that I was back on base without getting in trouble. Selfish little motherfucking son of a bitch. How dare you? I know, but I'm one out of many. The second one was a miscarriage. But that one. Why do I put a degree of fault in it? It's because I knew where I was planting the seed. I hoped for the best. I expected the worst. I was ready for the worst. She was not. You think I don't know anything. You think wrong. Now you know to a degree. Associate's, bachelor's, first or second. You play with those words. Merry Christmas. I am the books you've read, but cannot read. More wordplay. Think about the statements your own self. I am a snake, born year of the snake. She is a rat, born year of the rat. I happen to be a snake who found a rat. And due to that, obviously, the interspecies, it's not, we cannot. What test did I fail in EMT school? 1. What did I do with a potential possibility? 2. What happened when I had a potential success that I was ready for? 3. Everything comes in threes. Is a personal belief. Maybe that's destiny. Maybe it's fate. Was it meant to be? Was I defined as? Did I fit the description of? Or perhaps I've already been judged. So the only potential, not the only, I'm sure there are many other options. Another potential that I have to spread my seed, to plant my seeds, is with my tongue. It may be a sweet lily. The lily of the damned plant, the poisonous thing. No, her mother knows about that kind of stuff and she's used it. That's why her mother committed suicide. You guys don't know shit. Right. A sweet lily. Oh, Lilith, perhaps from the biblical terms of it. Miss Dust, she found a way, perhaps. But then again, I am on strike 3. I don't know. Look at it your own ways. I'm just explaining. That which. Well, what about that which I need? Hold on. Which word of the usage of which? I don't know. What did 613 say again? How did 1011 say it again? I don't know. But now you have to. Oh, no, you don't have to do anything. You already took it. Yeah, I know. I know. 10 years of thinking which words they want to use and how to translate it, on top of one person telling some story with an unknown past of 32 years of education in the mountains, only to come down to be guided in the rest of that life as well. Guided in secrecy, guided in knowledge, guided by some 3 wise men had a gangbang with Mary, and now you Italians and other Catholics use that fucking word Marie, and all them Maries turned into little fucking whores, literally. This one ended up as one, had no choice but to be, but there is no Marie. And yet I still claim I found my Virgin Mary. Well, how are you defining those words? My own way, to each their own. It's what allows me to keep the magic and the faith and the belief of anything that I have by defining my own way, my own possibility, a light in a darkness that's always meant to be dark. No, it's not. You can find a light for it, but sometimes the hope you have for such a small sliver of a fine line of reality and fantasy isn't strong enough. So at the end of the day, fuck it. I'll just take a blade and end it all. Nope, never touched myself, never harmed myself intentionally. No. But y'all have. Fine line. That witch I need. Well, perhaps she is the witch. We are all witches. We're all wizards, casting spells every day. Well, I wish you a Merry Christmas, but who knows where that leads, you fucking idiot. Be careful what you wish for, but I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Boy, things are changing this new year. Just wait. I'm going to destroy this world. I'm going to fuck every girl I see. I'm going to get laid 1,000 times. Watch this. But yeah, he's going to get his wish now. Congratulations. Congratulations on the new year. You lit a candle. You weren't ready for the light, and now it burns. Oops. It's that witch I need. And that is what you read. Who knows? Oh, you need her. You think you need her. You feel. Foreseen. Foresaw. For what you saw. Foreseen. There's a space between the words. It leads you to define it in only one way, but I've been to many societies and we use wordplay our own way, so I can see it multiple ways. Okay. Then see it your own way. Which way is that again? Yours? Theirs? The one you learned? Who knows? This other guy's your own personal definition of it? Who knows? Which one is it your way again? To each their own? Is it your own? Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? Foreseen was dread you seem to have read. But if you read what I read, or read what I read, or read what I read, or read what I read, well, I guess you can just keep playing with those fucking words, huh? Yeah. Then you would have seen what I see, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So that which is beauty. The which or that which is. Depends how you read it, I guess. How was it purposely spaced out in the text that you read those words in? Completely next to each other, hyphenated, perhaps skipped spaces. Who knows? Whoops, I misread it, I guess. They should have hyphenated it. Huh? Why? What do you mean? What are you talking about? That's why you're meant not to take that book literally, right? What a confusion, mindfuck of grammatical fuckheads. That which is beauty, but supposedly only to me in loving memories. Two lost, two were taken. How were they taken? I took one. She allowed it to happen. She's involved with the taking of. I put my willingly, and it was taken. Well, that one with an abused past of amphetamine use overcooked her body temperature to where she's always running at 400 degrees like a fucking furnace. And she lives in Florida. She cooked out the fucking baby. But supposedly, and behold, I is in the, behold, beauty, okay. What we see is obviously not unity because you saw what you saw and didn't ask me. No reason to figure out the book that's already open for you. But that's all good. No problem. You just assumed, well, you're making an ass out of you and me. You are the one. But I could tell you the truth. You just don't feel like asking. Okay. What we see is not unity, but a scheme. Unseen. Impossibility. No, it ain't. And I'll explain in a moment. A holy or unholy in Trinity comes in three. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Or is that an unholy infinity? Welcome to the Laughing Lamb. Oh, a circle. It's a circle. And then I made fun of Harry Potter, obviously. They huff and puff on your raven and claw down your door to slither into your griffin. Oh, Lord Voldemort. Well, I pass on your team of me and try a different unity, one that requires you and I, TY, Thank you. With or without me, there may be a unity. Plenty of groups out there that don't have me in it, huh? They have a unity of their own, these segregative, united motherfuckers. You are united in segregation, and within that segregation, you feel united. But there are other segregations within a big unity that you're supposed to belong in that aren't uniting in processes of the mind or the heart. Right. But we are the black community with Crips and Blood mentality. Get the fuck out of here. No, we are an Italian community with 5 specific families of mentalities. Ah, right. As far as I'm concerned, it's a miscarriage of knowledge, and y'all are aborting the most important things in your lives, and that is communication and conversations. The art of conversation is dying. Communication is becoming a thinner line of reality and fantasy, and nobody can see it anymore. Well, let the puppets keep dancing amongst the strings. However, one day, if you cut the strings off thy marionette, you will watch chaos reign. What an abortion through the innocence of a sin. Premarital sex, perhaps. Who knows? Call it whatever you want. Maybe it's just the actual act of intercourse in general because she wasn't in a missionary position. Right, Eve or Lily? No. She was not submissive. No, she gave me doggy with a hair pulling. She gave me all kinds of different positions. You notice these skeletons have different positional sex positions? Merry effing Christmas, Grateful Dead concert, 1973 souvenir, and I believe she said San Diego, California. Daddy was a Romanian adopted. He was of Romanian blood, but adopted by someone else, a frat guy, a guy who knew how to sell his blood, did stuff to his own daughter. That's stuff I find out later on. And I'm confused on whether or not her baby daddy has done anything to that thing. Has the innocence already been robbed? I don't know. I will think about it more and find out in the future. You guys don't know shit. Because again, through the innocence of a sin, so finely thin, well, sit on it and spin. Plenty of needs and wants, plenty of hierarchical positions. Are you ever going to be one of these hierarchical positions? Most likely not, because it takes an interwebbing of selling for you to get there. There are people in control of your positions and where your name is going to get you through the sacrifices their parents have done and the ones you're brought into. Whether you notice these things is whether that supposed third eye is awake to realize the falseness of the behavior and the sacrifices necessary for the acceptance of. False lighting. Anyway, you made it impossible. You make it what you want it to be, and you make it impossible. Well, I like a license plate from my childhood that leads me to be the Antichrist, spelled NTK, and with a I am possible. It's up to you to believe. Like the beggar who asked for money that you ignored and said, fuck you, and your life never changed until the one guy or girl actually puts what he asks for in his cup. She's dealing with it now. Well, needless to say, narcissism, messiah complex. Ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas, and thank you for joining me on this session of the Laughing Lamps Salty Code Conversation Session number 21. I may have missed a few things, and I'll bring them up in the future, most likely. Let's keep this one kind of short. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Stay well. Take care of each other. To each their own. Bye-bye.